Brock Osweiler just might be the worst free agent signing in NFL history. So there's a lot of stuff I wanted to get to on Turks and Jerks yesterday, but, we were a little short-handed again with our guests who don't show up. JR, Ben, you guys, still going to yell at you. It's actually not JR's fault, just like it's never Blake's fault for the NBA. So two things I wanted to get to in the NFL. For one, Brock Osweiler and him being benched by the Houston Texans and head coach Bill O'Brien, and what I think is one of the best quotes of the year, because the Texans general manager, Bob McNair, after Tom Savage kind of led them back into the game and kept them in the hunt for the NFL's worst division, the AFC South, save for maybe the Tennessee Titans, he said that now we have three good starting quarterbacks. No, man, you got no good starting quarterbacks. We don't know what's going to happen with Tom Savage. I think we're all jumping the gun by the fact that he was 22 of 36 and was instrumental in getting them back in that game. I understand that completely. He's got an awesome name. He's already got a 21 Savage parody about him. But we're jumping the gun on that. Now, back to Brock Osweiler, who no one knows what QBR means. Ben Mankiewicz talks about this all the time. If anybody could accurately explain what QBR is, or total QBR, or quarterback rating, or full quarterback rating in the comment section below, I will send you a t-shirt. Now, you cannot copy and paste a definition. You have to accurately explain using real examples. He does have the worst quarterback rating out of the starting quarterbacks. He is 30th in the league. And that's Brock Osweiler in that case. And Nick Wright, who is a regular fill-in and he works on Fox Sports 1, somebody who's, he talks a lot and he's good at it. When it comes to him taking over Colin Cowherd's show, I think he does a fantastic job. I always think he's pretty prepared when it comes to his points. He's someone I admire in the field, and he had two tweets, and I think he's right, and I'm going to share them with you. First tweet first, and then we'll get back to, we'll start with the second one. It's no longer a debate. Brock Osweiler is the worst full-time starting quarterback in the NFL, and given the position, one of the worst free agent signings ever. I think he's right about that. And then they also talk about how John Elway's a genius. John Elway's just lucky. We actually talked about that a couple weeks ago when it came to Trevor Siemian and the Denver Broncos. And as Nick Wright said just recently, again, Elway did offer him a $16 million a year contract, then signed Mark Sanchez, then drafted Paxton Lynch, all while Siemian was better than all of them. And he was quote tweeting the guy who said Osweiler is benching is yet another reminder that John Elway knows what he's doing. Look, there's a very famous phrase, you'd rather be lucky than good. And in this case, John Elway was lucky, not necessarily good in his decision to offer Brock Osweiler that money. What's remarkable to me is that Brock Osweiler still, 15 weeks into the next NFL season that we are in, that Brock Osweiler opted to go to Houston rather than have the Super Bowl winning defense. I just can't get over that fact. And look, there's a couple people who say, we were having the conversation in studio with myself, one of our analytics guys, and Steve O, who is our COO. You've seen him on the platform before, I'm sure. Who's worse, Jay Cutler or Brock Osweiler? I don't know what it is. And I know so many people around me who cannot stand watching Jay Cutler play football and get so frustrated by every time he botches a game for the Bears and throws a rifle right at a defensive back. It's like the opposite of Eli Manning's interceptions, where you know it's coming at some point, but it's coming at you 250 miles an hour. So I have a soft spot for Jay Cutler because I guess I look like Jay Cutler. So as we were talking with one of our production assistants in the studio beforehand too, I don't think Jay Cutler is a worse free agent signing than Brock Osweiler. I say that because Jay Cutler still technically had a couple 10-win seasons. His numbers weren't atrocious, at least on paper, and the Bears' problems were also coaching related as much as they were Jay Cutler related. Now, who's the worst free agent signing of all time? I think it might be David Boston. Now, do you remember David Boston? Anybody remember David Boston? Griffin, one of the guys wasn't even alive yet. It was like 2001 because he's 14 years old. It's funny. So David Boston, if you remember him, played for the Arizona Cardinals when he was drafted to. 98 receptions, 1,600 yards, 8 touchdowns, led the league in receiving. And then the San Diego Chargers offered him 7 years, $47 million, $12 million of that guaranteed. Again, keep in mind, we're talking about like the early 2000s. Contracts were not the same as they are now. There was less money in the NFL. So scaled to size, you're talking about roughly the same deal, if not more, with inflation and everything put into it, that Brock Osweiler got. Well, what happened to David Boston? He still caught 70 passes for 880 yards and 7 touchdowns under Marty Schottenheimer and the San Diego Chargers, but Schottenheimer didn't like his work ethic. He didn't like his practice. He said his mentality wasn't what he wanted in San Diego, which is understandable when you're Bill Belichick and you've won 4 Super Bowls, but and you've been to 6 of them with the Patriots, and you've been to every AFC championship game since I can remember, and you've won 8 straight AFC East crowns. Jesus, man, the Patriots are ridiculous. But in Schottenheimer's case, he released $11 million. He released 6 more years of a player who then got injured, who then eventually went and played, I think, in the CFL, who had never played another snap in the NFL after that. That's got to be the worst contract of all time, or at least the worst free agent signing, because if you think about it, like, injuries are one thing, and I understand how they can derail a career, but to sign a wide receiver for 7 years, man, it's the NFL. The shelf life of all these players is 2 years, 3 years, save for the quarterback who can't get hurt unless you're Cam Newton and you can't get a flag thrown in your favor when you get targeted. If anybody watched Monday Night Football game. All right, I need to know what you guys think. I need to know what you guys think is the worst NFL free agent signing of all time in history. Throw it in the comment section below. Remember, you get a t-shirt if you can accurately explain what a quarterback rating, total QBR, is in the comment section. It is a trick question, and it's a trap question because I will not accept a reasonable answer. Because it does not. No one knows. Nobody knows. Just provocative. Comment below.